Sophie Raworth is one of the most respected faces on British television. Known primarily for her professionalism and trusted presence as a BBC newsreader and journalist, she has spent years building a reputation as someone audiences can rely on for accurate, credible reporting. But when photos surface that show a very different side of her, it naturally sends shockwaves through fans and the media alike. For decades, Sophie has been celebrated for her poise, grace, and elegance. She's the kind of broadcaster who can handle serious global news events while also connecting warmly with audiences during lighter, more personal stories. This balance has made her one of the most enduring personalities in British broadcasting. But outside of the studio lights and newsroom cameras, Sophie has a side that very few people get to see, a side that is far bolder and more surprising than her on-screen persona. The idea of Sophie Raworth appearing in topless photos is something that seems almost impossible to imagine for many of her longtime viewers. After all, she has always carried herself with a certain sense of dignity and formality. Yet, these daring images show that beneath the surface, she's every bit as confident, bold, and fearless as any Hollywood star who embraces glamour and attention. What makes this situation so fascinating is the contrast between her public image and these revealing moments. Fans who have followed her career for years are left doing a double take, asking themselves if they're really seeing the same person who usually delivers the nightly news with such authority. And that contrast is exactly what makes these photos so captivating. It also reminds us that even the most serious and professional figures in the public eye are still human. Like anyone else, they have sides to their personality that aren't always visible in their work. For Sophie, stepping into a photo shoot that shows more skin than anyone expected demonstrates confidence in her own body and a willingness to break free from the role people might have boxed her into. Naturally, the release of topless photos created plenty of conversation. Some saw it as a scandal, questioning whether such images could affect her credibility as a journalist. Others applauded her for embracing herself and showing that women can be both intelligent professionals and glamorous individuals without having to sacrifice one for the other. This debate reflects a broader cultural shift. Society is slowly moving toward accepting that women don't have to be defined by just one aspect of who they are. For Sophie Raworth, these daring photos are not simply about shock value. They're about empowerment, control, and authenticity. Instead of being portrayed in the strict lens of news reporting, she shows that she has agency over her image and the confidence to reveal a side of herself that is unapologetically bold. At the end of the day, Sophie's legacy as a broadcaster is secure. She has decades of respected journalism behind her, and that's not something that can be erased by a set of photos. If anything, the conversation sparked by these images adds another layer to her story. It shows that she's not afraid of being seen in a new light, even if it leaves fans stunned. So yes, make sure you're alone before looking at Sophie Raworth's topless pics, not just because of the daring nature of the photos themselves, but because they challenge everything you thought you knew about her. They're surprising, powerful, and unforgettable, just like Sophie Raworth herself.